All right, hey guys, I'm here today with a 3-year-old by Titan. This is a filly by Epic Titan, and she's out of Wimpy's little step mare. And I haven't had her very long. Whoever had her did a real nice job on her, and I've got the opportunity to continue her training and see where that maybe leads us. One thing, if you can't tell by looking at her, I'll tell you that she is deaf. She cannot hear a thing. So it's going to allow me to talk while riding. I kind of hate doing that with those other horses because I feel like it desensitizes them to my voice. Not going to happen on this girl. So one of the benefits of her being deaf is, for instance, Johnny's up there on the weed eater right now, buzzing, and the farrier's in there listening to music and not bothering her one bit. So in that regard, it's a good thing. What I found, sometimes these guys can be a little on the spooky side. This mare so far has not shown that. But the other thing is, obviously, she's not going to respond to voice cues. But what I've noticed on the few that I've had a chance to train is that they're a little more responsive to your feet, to your neck rein. Once they get things figured out, they kind of start off being a little slow at times, and then they kind of get things sped up. Obviously, there's some good ones. We've seen my buddy Casey Deary's had a lot of luck with those deaf horses. So I'm just gonna kind of show you where she's at and what I'm doing with her. I've got a little John Israel colt bit on there. It's just a mullen mouth. It's pretty thick. There's not much to it, and I've got that on her because I'm trying to get her to connect and use her body a little bit better. So I've got this little bridle on her because I'm trying to get her to push on my hands just a little bit. And I know you're saying, well, you never want one to push on your hands, but some instances you do. And so I really feel the way she's built, she should use her body real level. And she is pretty good for the most part. What I've noticed, so if I pick up on her, and she's better today than she was, you know, fairly fast, sometimes not even fast, her first reaction is to kind of raise her head and not move her feet. And what I want is that no matter what, when I pick those reins up, when I take that slack out, that she figures out how to move her feet. And for the most part, I want to keep her head and neck pretty straight. And so you can see already she's starting to drop down. This bit has nothing in it that's going to bite them or hurt them. And I feel like they get a lot of confidence in this bridle. It's one I use a fair bit. I've also got one with some loose cheeks. But just to kind of tell you what my thought process was, I'm riding her around here, got my hand in neutral. She's really paying attention to me well. If I want to drop her neck a little bit, I'm going to squeeze with my calves. You see she started to squeeze and she kind of sped up. So what I'm going to do is just pick up with my hand here until she drops down to where I'd like her to release, and then I turn her loose. Then I'm going to go back and do it again. I'm going to squeeze. There, that time she dropped down, didn't speed up as much. That time she kind of leaned off to the camera. Squeeze, good. Squeeze, good. And I feel like I can use this in the show ring once she gets dialed in, where I can simply just squeeze with my calves or my feet if I have to, and she'll drop down to right where I need her in case she starts to get a little lost without having to pick up the reins. So I'm doing that along with just making sure that if I ask her to neck rein, change direction, that she comes with me just like that, getting real good to the right. So I'm starting that off, guys. Just did a clinic with some folks from Louisiana, and we worked on this, where we're saying that we want our horse to be an extension of our hand to be an extension of her eyes. So in a perfect world, I'd like to get to where I can kind of look. Aha, she did it right there. And she picks up on those little minute changes from my body, or those little signals, and it lets her know what's coming, and she comes over. Now, I love that reaction right there. Not only did she change directions, but she slowed down just a touch, which is going to obviously, you know, it's going to serve us well in a reining pattern when we go fast to slow, that when I steer in, she's thinking about coming back to me. Look in this way. I just kind of knock that shoulder with my stirrup because this way she kind of wants to turn her head, look in, but she doesn't really move her feet. So all I do in that case, maybe pull just a little bit harder, use a little bit of my outside foot in her rib cage or on her shoulder until I feel her release, and then turn her loose and go on. So there she got a little bit lost. When she came out, I just squeezed my feet, see if she'll drop back down again. My whole goal, which that's a big thing that I'm always talking about at these clinics. First off, you need to have a goal. My goal is to try to get this mare to where she'll respond with very little signal and she'll understand what it is I want. And I'm going to get that through repetition. A little bit better there, but you see she's kind of leaking out a little. Don't make a big deal out of it. I'm just going to hold her, kind of squeeze until she gets where I want her, and then I turn her loose, and then just go back and try again. A little better. So I'm not really working on the spin here, guys. I'm just asking her to move over, and if she doesn't move over enough, I just keep pulling, and she's broke enough, she's far enough along in her training that she's fallen into a spin, but that's not really what I'm after. It's more about how she neck reins. Let's go back and check that right side. I wish I was deaf today. That weed eater is driving me crazy. There, so once again, you can see this right side's better than the left. I don't want to completely ignore my good side, but I'm definitely going to come back and make more of an effort to work on this side. You guys that are in two hands, it works the exact same. The big thing that I see when we go to two hands, I see riders that want to lead with that inside rein. And look what happens when I lead with that inside rein. It allows that shoulder to leak out. So what I want is to lead with the outside rein. If my horse's head got completely the wrong way, that's the only time I'll come in, use that inside rein to help them understand what direction it is that I want to go. Then I go right back to one hand. So again, what I'm after is the same look that you saw on the right where Titan changes better. She changes directions, but also is kind of thinking about me a little bit more like that right there. So that time I didn't grab her with my feet. I just left her alone. There, that's two in a row. Better. She's raising up, but she's better. Three, even better. Okay, that time I didn't like that one quite as much. Getting better. Definitely not exactly where I want it. I'd like to get that left side like this, but we're making progress. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time to just show you a new horse that I've got. She's deaf, and you can see she works the exact same, I think, as a horse that can hear, other than obviously we just don't get voice cues. But I challenge you to go out on your warm-up and spend this much time. Don't be in a hurry to jump into that lope or work on maneuvers every day. Sometimes just come out and walk and jog and just try to see how refined can you get your cues before you go to work. And I really feel, obviously, you're going to get your horse a lot broker, but I think you're going to get your horse more dialed in mentally, and then when you go back to ask him those other maneuvers, I think they're going to be that much better. And you can see this mare just keeps getting, there she went forward a little, I'll back her up a little. You see that this mare is not getting worried. She's getting more and more confident. And when that happens, they get more and more relaxed. And just in the probably 10 minutes I've been talking to you guys, I've probably done at least 100 reps. There, whoa, right there is where I'm going to stop. That whoa didn't do much good. But I felt that move that felt real similar to the right side, and so I'm going to leave that alone. And so I'm gonna give her a little break, and then I'm gonna go to work. So I just wanna give you guys a little look at Titan here. Got another Palomino to add to the lineup. But looks real easy. I think it is easy, but the hard part is taking it to that next level and forcing yourself to not babysit your horse and see how refined you can get them. This is gonna work on any discipline. Doesn't matter whether you're riding a reining horse or any level horse, just even riding down the trail. We all would love to have a more responsive horse. So good luck with that. Let me know how it goes.